Welcome to Business Influencers. Hope everyone's having a wonderful week. Again, we are so excited to let you know that Business Influencers continues to grow here with the Touch of Life Foundation with TALRadio. And again, all thanks to you, the listeners, each and every week joining us here at Business Influencers. As stated, each week we are committed to bringing subject matter experts sharing their words of wisdom and insight to grow your business or career to the next level. Feel free to follow us on TALRadio.org. We're also at Apple and Spotify under Business Influencers, and also our YouTube channel under Business Influencers with TALRadio. Again, we are so excited that our sponsor, Alumni Direct, continues each week to support the show. Alumni Direct is a social media community platform dedicated to bringing alumni together from all different generational types. An opportunity to rekindle old relationships or perhaps meet new people for the first time. It also takes all the noise out of social media, so allowing you to come in a genuine, authentic way to share content of interest that allows you to generate genuine, authentic connections with people perhaps you've known in the past or new people. Perhaps you may meet your next new business partner or land your next job opportunity. It also offers an infinity program where you could tap into a wider array of services that normally you would not be able to purchase individually on your own. Feel free to check them out at alumnidirect.com. That's alumnidirect.com. Well, we have a great show for you today. We're going to be talking about how to use your LinkedIn profile to grow your career. And this is so important more than ever to really showcase not only your skills, but also your accomplishments, accolades, and also the person that you are. And do you align with the culture of the organizations that you may have interest in landing your next job opportunity? And we have the pleasure of having a subject matter expert here today, Kristen Dick. She is the CEO and founder of Avro Creative, where she is a speaker and personal branding strategist. Her work helps driven leaders exude confidence, overcome imposter syndrome, and stand out. Kristen brings insights from her experience working with some of the biggest brands like Coca-Cola, Powerade, and Glaceau Vitamin Water, if I said that correctly, to the world of personal branding. Her clients go to achieve senior leadership roles, receive top industry awards, and launch successful businesses. She's also the creator and instructor of Opportunity Magnet, a course teaching you how to build your personal brand and attract opportunities on LinkedIn. And all the contact information for Kristen will be made available here also on the show notes. And without further ado, we welcome Kristen Dick to the show. Kristen, how are you doing today?
I am doing great. Thanks so much for having me, Christopher. It's great to be here talking about one of my favorite subjects too.
Yes, I love it. I mean, we live in a world now when LinkedIn has been around for quite some time, and you've had people that are used to be get their resumes updated and doctored up when they were looking for their next job opportunity. Why has LinkedIn now become like the go-to resume? And why, from a strategic standpoint, if you're going to be taking your career to the next level or perhaps looking for your next opportunity, why LinkedIn is the primary source for that?
Yeah, so there's a lot of reasons. And LinkedIn has evolved quite a bit. If you haven't been on there in a while, it's worth checking it out again. I am one of those people that thought LinkedIn was lame. I wasn't interested in it. I thought it was the kind of thing that, like you said, you go in and you update it like to look like your resume or when you're on the job hunt, that kind of thing. But it's actually so much more than that now. And it's been purchased by Microsoft. Years ago it was purchased by them, and they're really, really investing in it, and they're listening to their users. They want to make it a positive experience for us, people like us, who are professionals wanting to grow our careers, business owners looking to bring in leads, all of that good stuff. Unlike some of the other platforms that we know are just kind of rubbing people the wrong way, we'll say, to be extra nice.
Yes.
So why it's so important to be on there is really two reasons, but it comes down to search. When you need something, you go to Google, or if you're familiar with LinkedIn, you go to the LinkedIn search bar, whether that's a service, a product, a person to bring onto your team, you go to search. So when you go to Google and you type in someone's name, their LinkedIn profile is always one of the very first things that comes up. It's consistently ranking on the first page of Google, usually in the top 3. And yes, your Facebook, your Instagram, those kinds of social media accounts will come up as well. But according to Hootsuite, LinkedIn is the world's most trusted social networking site. So when you pair the fact that it's searchable, that it's trusted, and that people are looking to find out about you as a professional, you as a business owner, they're going to click on your LinkedIn profile. So you want to make use of that. I tell people that your LinkedIn profile is prime real estate on the internet, and it's free. Whether or not you have LinkedIn Premium, your account will still show up on the first page of Google. The other piece of search that I like to mention is that LinkedIn itself is a search engine. Meaning, if you go in the top left-hand side, is called the search bar, you can go and search for someone you want to recruit to your team, a candidate. You can search for them based on, where, if you need someone in your city, if you're not looking for a remote worker, like many people are now. So geography, you can look at their years of experience, the profession that you're looking for, a whole bunch of different criteria, and people are using it. And that is how they can find you. So you want to look at it from both of those perspectives to make it easy for people to find you. We're so used to, I've got to go find clients for my business, or I've got to go find a recruiter. I've got to go apply for a job. You can actually help let people find you. So I call my course Opportunity Magnet, because it's just about opportunities. There's so many opportunities out there. You can go out and find them. Great. And you should, but it's also cool if you use LinkedIn the right way, they come to you.
Well, I love that. And on the subject of that, in coming from your course Opportunity Magnet, what would be some of the things you could suggest that, because for the most part, people, when they originally set up their profiles, and just speaking in general, that are not on LinkedIn enough, but should be, what can they be doing to enhance what they already have or do different to really not only stand out, but be more compelling to the people that they are looking to impact, perhaps to let land their next opportunity or whatever that may be to them?
Mm-hmm. So the first thing that you should do is go and take a look at your profile. So if you haven't really looked lately, it's changed a little bit for the better, I might add. There's more visual stuff going on. You can actually link from your profile to your website, to a piece of work that you've done that's on your company's website, things like that. So that's very cool. But take a look at what's new and complete your profile. So if you've got a profile that's done, you've filled out your experience section, you've got an about section filled out, all of that good stuff, your profile will be seen by 40% more people, according to LinkedIn too. So they want to show profiles to people that have information on them. So keep that in mind, because I know it can be a little bit scary and time consuming too, to think, oh, what am I going to say? And how long will this take? And that kind of thing. It's worth it to schedule some time in your calendar to just go through and take stock of the accomplishments that you've achieved. And the world has changed. Our work has changed. So add your new skills, add the new activities that you've taken on since what has kind of impacted the world. But the big thing that I want to share with everybody is to know your keywords. So if you're familiar with SEO or search engine optimization, you know what keywords are. And keywords are the words that people use to search for you or for your business. So when you're thinking about keywords, you want to think about your new boss. What words are they looking for in a candidate? What search terms will they be writing in order to find someone like you? What words are people using to describe your product or your service? And so we have to think about it through their eyes. So if you're B2B, if you're in a B2B business, you can use your industry language and that kind of thing. But especially if you're B2C, and you don't want to be using that industry jargon, if you will, words that your suppliers, your partners, they're going to know what you're talking about, but the end user, they might not know what you're talking about. So what words do they use? So pay attention on your phone calls, on interactions that you're having with these people. What words are they using? And try to narrow it down to 3 to 5. 3 to 5 of these words, and then sprinkle it throughout your profile. So there's 3 main places that you want to have it on your profile. And also share it in conversations with people too, that it doesn't hurt to know the language and then be reflecting it back to people.
That's some great advice. And I think it's so imperative, especially now when there's so many people, and it doesn't mean that what you do is unique. We have to be able to really stand out and be compelling to others. What would you say that in terms of another strategy, how people should, in addition, use it, what you just stated? Would that mean they have to be more active on LinkedIn? Meaning, do they have to post? Do they have to interact with other people? Because there are going to be the people that are very active, and then there are going to be people that are on there once in a while when there's a requirement, and some people just are not on there at all.
Mm-hmm,
so to speak.
Mm-hmm.
What would you recommend for those people that are serious about growing their career and using LinkedIn as a tool or resource?
Yeah. I mean, if you're serious about LinkedIn, I recommend putting it in your calendar. Put it in your calendar. It'll get done. And set a timer for yourself too, because you might find that you're actually enjoying your time on there, and it'll pass a little quicker than you might anticipate. So I try to say, 20 to 30 minutes tops per day. If you are going to start creating posts and content, and the best way to do that, to kind of, get your feet wet and get familiar, is to start to comment on other people's posts. Don't be afraid to send someone a direct message or a connection request if you appreciate the insights they're sharing through their content. This is, how you network, and I, take the best of in-person networking, which is building real relationships, being able to help people, and asking for help sometimes if you need it. And then leave behind the worst part of in-person networking, where, you feel put on the spot. You don't really have to feel that way on LinkedIn, because you're not face-to-face. So it's a little bit easier for people in that way. So yeah, set a timer if it's once a week to go in there and just engage, as they say, and start commenting on other people's posts. Look at some hashtags. So if you're in, the sciences, if you're in engineering, look at some hashtags, follow them, and then you can kind of start commenting and engaging with people that way, and then increase that from there. And then you'll probably get some of your own ideas and want to start posting. And it's great if you do post. You're one of the few people on the platform that actually do. Less than 5% of people do. So you can grow your thought leadership much more quickly than in other social media platforms. And it's a little bit less scary because people are more professional on LinkedIn, right? They know their boss, their colleagues, their clients are kind of looking. And my experience has been a lot more positive on LinkedIn than other places.
Yeah. Well, I mean, another thing when you think about, LinkedIn, it's a place to network, and they always say that your career and where you go is always good as how your network is and how you build your network. What would you suggest, in terms of LinkedIn? Does it mean that we just reach out to just anyone who makes a connection with us? Should we be strategic with the types of people we do reach out, or reach out to us and who we accept into our network, and how we can use it better to really grow our connections that could lead to our next opportunity in our career and businesses?
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Be strategic. It's okay to say no. And you go in and you see those connection requests come in, and you're going, I've never met this person. We're not in the same industry. just say decline and don't worry about it and move on. So be strategic about it. And how do you be strategic about it? Well, look at what your goals are for your career or your business. Look at who you want to build trust with. Yeah, they say your net worth is your net worth. We all know that quote. Something else that I like to tell people is that, there's that other really famous networking quote, which is, it's not what you know, it's who you know. And I put a spin on it. I updated it to something I believe is more accurate, which is that it's not what you know, it's not who you know, it's who trusts you. And so as a personal branding strategist, I'm all about helping you build trust with people. And so they can't trust what they can't see, what they aren't aware of. So I encourage you when you're thinking, oh, I don't want to be bragging and talking about my accomplishments on my profile and things like that. Look at it as a trust building exercise. People want to know that you can do the job, and your previous experience is one way that they can build trust in you. So who do you need to have trust in you in order for your career to be advanced? Well, people in your industry, leaders in your industry, people like that. So send them a connection request, add a note, talk about how you admire their work, you're curious about, learning more about them, things like that. And they may even be open to having a virtual coffee chat with you to talk and get to know each other better. So yeah, absolutely. Get out there, network, be strategic for sure, and just slowly build your network of, people that that you want to know, and that who want to know you too. That's a great question, Christopher.
I love it. I know I've been on LinkedIn for many years, and, started really diving into it on a frequent basis about maybe 9 years ago, almost 10 years ago, when I got into, executive coaching. And, I was at that point taking my professional speaking career to another level. And I knew I had to use it in order to expand my reach and my network and, getting introduced to meeting planners and so on. What would be some other resources that you feel could be beneficial to people that are, looking to grow their career, and what LinkedIn can provide them to do so?
So resources within the platform itself?
Yeah, within the platform. I mean, there could be like other, like there could be Sales Navigator. There's probably, other things as well. I know that's a premium. That's not something that comes with you have to purchase that. But I know for me personally, it's helped out quite a bit. Met so many people I may have never had a chance had I not had it. So,
yeah.
But I'm still like looking to learn more about other resources, if there are other resources as well.
Yeah. I mean, within LinkedIn Learning, there's some great resources that can teach you how to use Sales Navigator too, which is something I'm learning about myself because LinkedIn on its own keeps me busy enough, but I thought maybe it's time I invest in this, Sales Navigator and the premium service and things like that. One of the other resources, and I kind of mentioned it earlier, is the featured section, which is how you can share a link to your website, share a link to your career portfolio, things like that. You can use LinkedIn to actually be your online portfolio. So think of it that way. It's not static, it's dynamic. You can add to it and update it very, very regularly. And then another relatively new opportunity within LinkedIn is something called creator mode. Are you familiar with that?
I've heard of that term. It's funny that you say that, because I just heard that term like on Monday, but I'm still kind of not familiar with everything about it.
Okay. So creator mode is for you if you are going to be posting a lot, whether it's, the small posts or writing articles. And so it opens up a whole bunch of new features to you. So you can have a newsletter that goes out and it'll send your article to people who follow you on there as often as you want. There's also a really something useful that I find is you can have a link at the very top of your profile. So right underneath, your name, your headline, you can have a link and direct people to that link. So that is new, and that's exciting for, if you've got a service, a product, that kind of a thing. And then it also is it also just, helps you get your reach and your posts to more people. It explains, what you talk about. So if you go to my profile, you see I talk a lot about personal branding, career growth, women in STEM, so science, technology, engineering, math, and bringing more diverse voices to that area. And so it lets people know right away, this is what you're going to get from following her. And then the other big thing that you'll notice with creator mode, and this is something you've probably noticed as well, Christopher, because I get asked about this quite often. When you go to someone's profile, and rather than see that connect button, you see follow.
Yeah.
Have you seen that before?
Yes.
And you're kind of going, oh, do they not want me to follow them? Why this, not connect? What's going on here? It's because they have creator mode turned on. And so to me personally, I see this as a bit of a trade-off. I would rather have the connect button. I like having two-way conversations with people. And a connection request allows that to happen. The follow button, though, is for people who are, producing a lot of content regularly, and it just allows that, follow to happen really, really easily. And then again, more people get to see your work, your content, your posts, and no one's going to think twice about clicking follow, whereas there are people who still have a little bit of a reservation about clicking the connect button.
And I think
the real deal.
Go into more, and then you can still manually hit connect.
Yes.
I now you jarred my memory. I remember seeing that.
Yeah. So that's I do have creator mode because I do create regular content and posts, and I'm a LinkedIn creator. But I would prefer it if I could have that connect button on there. I've actually got a good back and forth on one of my company page posts about all the nuance between creator mode and regular mode on LinkedIn. So if you're interested in a deeper dive about creator mode and the connect versus follow button, take a look. I can share the link with you after.
Wow, that's awesome. I love what you share. What would be some other things like you would suggest, like maybe perhaps on frequency? Like how often should people be coming into LinkedIn? Is it something daily? Is it something a few times a week? Is it once a month? That type of thing. What would you suggest is, on average for people that, again, serious about moving their career and business to the next level?
Yeah. So if you're new to LinkedIn, or if you're new to making it part of your work week, then what I recommend is starting small. Don't set yourself up for a failure or anything like that. So put it in your calendar on whatever day is a great day for you. Monday, Tuesday, say Tuesday, maybe not Monday, but Tuesday, if you're lower on meetings, put that 20 to 30 minutes in your calendar. I set a timer for myself a lot of times because someone's posting something really interesting, and then it leads to comments, and then you're like, oh, I met this great person. And the time can truly fly. But do that once a week and then build up from there. Once you're meeting that as a routine, now go twice a week. And if you want to start posting your own stuff, once or twice a week is great. Even on Saturdays, your posts get seen by a lot of people on Saturdays because a lot of people are on LinkedIn. They're still, on mobile, but there's fewer posts going out. So your posts do get seen by more people. So consider that too, but you don't have to post every day. Post once a week. Start to kind of build your brand around that one thing that you talk about weekly, and then expand on it. And you'll start to learn, who your people are and what they're more interested in hearing about. And then, grow it to twice a week and go on from there. The other thing I recommend people do is look at LinkedIn on a quarterly or annual basis, where you go in and you have it set in your calendar to update your profile. So if you, depending on your line of work or your business or your stage of your career, you can decide if it's quarterly or annually, but go in there and update it. Otherwise, you're going to forget. And then you're going to be scrambling when someone wants to interview you, or you have a job interview or media interview or whatever it might be. You want to have that great stuff showcased your profile. And if you don't have it in your calendar, it's not going to happen.
Well, I love it. You've shared so much wisdom and information here about LinkedIn. I've learned more in this last, half an hour than I have in a long time. So I got some things to do, and I'm sure the listeners got so much value, and there'll be people listening later. So we highly encourage everybody to listen to this show again in its entirety and share this show and get to know Kristen as well. Kristen, I'd love to give this opportunity because we're at the end of the show. How can people get in contact with you, what you're up to, and anything you'd like to offer the audience?
Yeah, well, come on over. Let's chat on LinkedIn. Go through that extra click and click connect. Let me know that you watched this podcast, this video, and if you have questions, hey, let me know, and I'm happy to answer them for you. So my LinkedIn link is linkedin.com/IN/Kristen Dick Calgary. I live in the city of Calgary. Or come to my website at avrocreative.com. You can see the Avro behind me for the spelling there. And you can learn more about Opportunity Magnet as well. I'd love for you to come join us over there and take your time going through the videos and the learnings and build your personal brand on my favorite network.
Awesome. Well, Kristen, thank you so much for taking time out of your busy schedule to join us here at Business Influencers. We want to thank you so much for being here and sharing your words of wisdom with our audience.
Thanks so much, Christopher. I'm a fan of Business Influencers, so thanks for inviting me on board.
Thank you so much. And listeners, we want to thank you each and every week joining us here at Business Influencers. We highly encourage you again to reach out to Kristen here on LinkedIn. Check out her Opportunity Magnet on her website. And again, we will be back next Thursday here at the same time. And we look forward to hearing from you. Feel free to reach out to us anytime with any suggestions, questions that you may have in terms of content you'd like to see on the show at chris@christophersalem.com. Till then, everybody, have a great rest of your week, and we'll see you then.